Hi everyone, it's Kelly here. Please excuse my voice. I still have a viral infection. Probably by the time you're watching this, I won't still have it. And that will be a good thing because I have lost my voice for a couple of days and it's been really frustrating. But I decided I just needed to start making some content today because I am sick of not talking. I am sick of not being able to get ahead with some of my videos that I've been thinking about and wanting to make. So I'm doing a big filming day today. This is the third video that I've filmed today, now that I've got a little bit of voice back. So anyway, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Today I am hauling some books. I have actually acquired quite a few books in the month of June. I've just selected some to show you today. A lot of these books on the top shelf here of the trolley are secondhand books that I have acquired in this month, and I am excited about them, but I think what I'm going to do is just leave them and I'll talk about them as I read them and in other circumstances rather than as a whole. But I wanted to show you a few of the books that have come in this month because I'm quite excited about them and they're quite beautiful. So I'm very happy to be adding them to my collection. My sincere apologies if you can hear my cat in the background, who I think has a hairball coming. We'll know eventually if that is the case. So yeah, apologies. It's not a nice noise to listen to. Okay, so the first set of books I'm going to talk to you about today come from one of my favourite authors. I didn't know that these books existed. The author is Joanne Harris, and I think these are, I would probably call them novellas. They're not full novels. Anyway, so here they are. So we've got Orfeia, The Blue Salt Road, and A Pocketful of Crows. They are absolutely stunning with metal foiling on the front of each of them. This one's got a gorgeous silver, which goes so nicely with this blue. And this one's a gold. I'd probably call this one maybe like rose gold, maybe brass. Anyway, they're absolutely stunning books. I have no idea what any of them are about, but Joanne Harris is an author for me. So when I discovered they existed, I just bought them. And especially when I was buying them, I was like, oh, they're so pretty. So it's really nice to be ordering some really pretty books, and I'm excited to get to them. I believe that these are sort of fairy tale kind of style books. Yeah, and the illustrations on all three are done by Sue Gent, which, well done because they're beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So that's those three. Then all of the others are not part of sets. They're just books I'm excited about. So this one is Everyone Knows Your Mother is a Witch by Rivka Galchen. Again, I don't know too much about this. But it's set in the time of a plague and the 30 Years' War. So we've got a woman who's believed to be a witch. She is does her herbal kind of remedies and so on. She gets accused of witchcraft and is facing financial ruin, torture, and even execution. And this is her side of the story. So I'm really interested to read this one. I do love a book about a witch and or like even sort of that accusation of being a witch and so on. So I think this one's going to be really, really interesting. And I love the cover of this one too. The little moon or sun, kind of coming up, sunrise. I just love it. It's beautifully designed cover. The next one is one that everybody's raving about, and I found it for a good price, so I just decided to buy it. And that is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I'm not much of a romance reader, but I've heard good things about this one. It's almost universally positive reviews of this book, and I think this will be a nice one to read when I'm wanting something that's a bit light. I do read a little bit of romance from time to time, but it's not my main genre that I am drawn to. So when I am feeling in that romancy mood, then I'm sure I will be picking this one up. The next one is a beautiful cover as well. This is When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. I am really excited to read this book. It's set in 1955 in Wisconsin, and essentially what happens is women turn into dragons. Unexpectedly, it's not a thing that's happened before, and then all of a sudden it just starts happening. And I'm really excited to be reading this book at some point in the very near future. It's sort of like the rage within that has to come out somehow. And I'm really interested in the concept and the way that Kelly Barnhill has kind of used that as kind of a working metaphor. I also love Kelly Barnhill as an author. I read The Girl Who Drank the Moon last year, and it was a 5-star read for me. I loved it so much. This is not a book for young children, as that one was, but I'm sure that this will also be amazing, so I'm very excited to read it. Another absolutely stunning cover. This is All's Well by Mona Awad. Just like, what? That's so beautiful. And I'm really interested in reading this one too. So this is all about a woman called Miranda who has had an accident at some point, and she had an acting career on the rise that was all of a sudden cut short because of this accident, because she's got chronic back pain now, so she just can't. However, she is a college theatre director, and she is determined to put on Shakespeare's All's Well That Ends Well, which is where the title of the book comes from. And the cast don't want to do it. They want to do Macbeth instead, which I kind of find quite funny. And then she meets these 3 strange benefactors who have an eerie knowledge of her past and a tantalising promise for her future, one where the show goes on, her rebellious students get what's coming to them, and the invisible doubted pain that's kept her from the spotlight is made known. And I think this is going to be a really interesting book. It's also supposed to be a little bit funny, but also just to do with like female pain and being believed, which I think will be a really interesting topic to read about. So I'm very keen to get to this one at some point. Like, I just can't get over, seriously, how beautiful that cover is. It's absolutely stunning. All right, the last one that I'm going to talk to you about is this book. It literally only came in the last day or two. It's called Sunbathing by Isobel Beech. I heard about this, I can't remember where, on Instagram, but I can't remember who was talking about this. If I find out, I'll put it in the description. And this is a book about a woman who is grieving, and she ends up going to booking a plane ticket and going to live in an old villa in the mountains of Abruzzo in Italy so she's got some friends that invite her to stay, and she lives for the summer in the house's birthing room. I've never heard of a birthing room, but this is a room where generations of women once had their babies, which I just find that concept quite interesting. So I'm assuming that that's going to come into the story at different times. So it's sort of like her kind of coming to terms with her grief in this like beautiful location, in this room, the birthing room, and probably what that entails and perhaps relates to her story, I'm not sure. So basically she's kind of like taking the time to do everyday things, and the kind of the solace that gives to a person when they're grieving or sad, I think will be really interesting to read about. So I'm looking forward to reading this one soon as well. It's such an interesting cover design, this purpley colour, but then also just this background of the beautiful Italian countryside, I assume. And I believe this is a debut book by Isobel Beech, who is an Australian author, and I'm really excited to read it. So that's it, my beautiful book haul for this month. Genuinely gorgeous book covers that I have managed to get my mitts on. and I'm really excited to read these books really soon. Have you read any of these? I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have. There are definitely books on this list that I'm keen to get to really, really quickly. Others that'll probably sit for a little while before I do. But I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've read any of these. And also, have you heard of them? Have I introduced you to a book that you've not heard of before that you're about to go and order straight away? Because I know that's how I do a lot of my ordering. So please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to chat to you down there, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.